You wouldn't even kill an animal with that many bullets, and you're killing a man. This is not the time to be quiet. When Kaepernick was kneeling down, it was an issue. When people being peaceful, it's an issue. But the thing is that the people that were killed, they weren't peacefully taken away to be questioned or interrogated. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone's doing well during this quarantine period. Today's video, as you can guess by the title, I'm just going to be giving my opinions. This is not a rant about the situation that's happening at the moment, and I feel it is very important for me to touch upon as a black person, as a black woman who will be having black children, God willing, in the future, and a problem that affects me on a day-to-day basis. This video here is not for people to be shouting all lives matter, because if all lives did matter, we wouldn't be in this position. If all lives did matter, then black lives should be included as well, and obviously this is not the case. This is obviously not affecting me directly, as I live in the UK, but just because I'm not in America and I'm not a black male being shot does not mean that I shouldn't raise my voice for things that are happening within my community, because obviously I am in the black community. So I know a lot of people, I've been hearing a lot of comments about people saying they're tired about hearing it. One thing that grinds me as a black person is hearing that we always use the race card and slavery. The thing about slavery is that slavery was actually not abolished a long time ago. There's still people around who have grandparents, or parents who are actually older than when their countries gained independence, and some countries haven't even have 50 years of independence. So think about it, people are still alive from that era. And as a black person, I can say I have gone through racial experiences that I shouldn't have to, just because of the color of my skin, and experiences that I know that a lot of my friends have gone through and my children will definitely go through, because this is not an issue that has just been, how do I say, this is not just an issue that's just come up from the ground out of nowhere. This issue has been there for a very long time, and the reason why there's such an uproar is that a lot of people are tired. I am tired, and it's very, very difficult. I just want to tell you that when you're growing up in a black household, if you didn't know, when you're growing up, you're told certain things before you go outside, and you're already told that it's going to be difficult for you to live as a person because you're black. I've had numerous conversations with my parents that are telling me, like, you need to be careful, or you can't do this because you're black. And some people are like, oh no, we live in a world of equal opportunity and this and that and blah blah blah. Just because things are written in the law does not mean that people act by it. Police officers, cops, or whatever you want to call them, they're meant to be, giving out the law, defenders of the law, acting out by law. So you cannot use the same law that we're all meant to abide by, but the police or the cops or whatever you want to call them are not abiding by it. So there's one rule for civilians to abide by the law, but then police officers are killing people and not abiding by the law. This is not the first case. There have been numerous, I can't even count, of situations like this happening, with cops killing, showing blatant disrespect to black people. I'm not going to say people of color. I'm not going to be politically correct. I'm just going to say how it is. Anyway, sorry, I might jump in and out, but I'm just saying how I feel, and I'm upset. That's all I have to say. Is I am upset. I am angry. I cried, and I'm not gonna cry on here because crying doesn't do much. So anyway, back to the black experience. I've had my parents tell me, oh, you have to act this way, or you need to be careful because you're black, and they might see it like this. And you shouldn't have to tell somebody or tell your child. I should not be having to tell my children, oh, you have to be careful because you're black. It shouldn't happen. That is one of the biggest problems, and that's why black people normally get really outraged in any stance where there's racism, and people don't understand. We don't just pull out the race card. Some people do, but we generally don't pull out the race card and just be like, oh, this person's racist, this person's blah 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 blah. A lot of the time is we've seen a lot of things that you guys don't see because you're not black. It's very simple. It is very simple. If you're not black and it hasn't happened to you, you cannot say, oh, it's not happening, it's not because you're black, because you're not black. I don't even think there's any other explanation. And there's people that have used the race card, and you know, the example of the lady who's out in the park saying there was an African American here threatening her, when obviously nothing was happening, but just knowing that the system is out there by saying a black person is here, that instantly it means run for your life. I don't understand how the color of your skin makes you more dangerous than somebody else. I don't want to hear anything about statistics or anything like that. How does the color of your skin equal, oh, you're going to hurt me because you're black? What right do people have to think that it's okay just because you're of another race, that you have you're more superior than another race, to be killing them? If that person has done something wrong, yeah, in this case, the guy was handcuffed. We're talking about George Floyd here, yeah? The guy was handcuffed on the floor with 4 officers. If you really thought he was resistant or you think he could run, there are foot cuffs or whatever you call them. There's no way he's gonna move. What reason do you think kneeling on somebody's neck, saying that they can't breathe, and still kneeling down on them, what right, what kind of outcome are you expecting? What could that guy do to harm you? You are in a position of power. Police officers are meant to protect the people, protect the law, and make sure, you know, people who are doing wrong are put away and called into action. You are not meant to be the instigator of the situation. Unless I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, somebody come and correct me. Actually, don't. I don't want to hear it. One thing I want to talk about is I have lost a lot of support for my friends, a lot of support for influencers, a lot of support for brands that are pretending this situation doesn't happen or they're too scared. A lot of influencers I've been seeing, shout out to Jackie Aina because she's been saying something, a lot of these brands that love to perpetuate black culture, black music, anything black apart from the black people, and without the black people that culture wouldn't exist in the first place. But it's okay to just ignore this bit. We just want your hair, fashion, culture, tan up, look like you, do all of this, but we don't actually want to deal with the struggles. You want all the good things of a culture, of a people, but everything else, just dash it away. A lot of influencers, I've noticed, haven't been saying anything. It doesn't take 30 seconds to put a post up to show, you know, your support. And by staying silent means that you're on the other side. To me, if you're not supporting or not even putting a post for 30 seconds will not kill you, yeah? I have influencers that have posted, they've been saying they've been losing followers. Good riddance. If there are people like that in the world, yeah, even if you want to dismiss the whole Black Lives Matter or whatever and be all lives matter, it just, the hypocrisy of it doesn't even make sense, that people are being killing and there are people's names that are not being heard and not being shouted out and not being stood up for and being incorrectly put into jail and being killed for the color of their skin. People that have been in jail for 30 years and then, oh, they didn't do it, they just needed someone for the crime, and a black person was there and we just thought we'll just throw him in jail to keep everybody happy, when people are being lynched, yeah, and even passive racism, yeah, and influencers and brands and all those are keeping quiet, and you, because you don't want to be in the mix, because you think you're gonna lose money or you're gonna lose sponsorship and blah blah blah. I think it's disgusting, number one, and you have no integrity at all. It shows you how much people are as human beings. Like, just listen, yeah? People are scared, yeah, just in quarantine already, yeah? So imagine you're going for a run, you're going for a bloody run. Sorry, I shouldn't even say bloody, but what the hell? You're going for a run. People in quarantine are going for a run. You're getting chased down, filmed. Yeah, this was even disgusting. Filmed, like, you're getting chased down. People are filming. No respect, no remorse, no nothing. They're willing to film whilst you're getting shot and getting killed, like it's nothing. Like it's nothing. And you're just going for a run. Even if you feel like somebody's doing wrong, yeah, this is going to be so funny what I'm about to say. That's what the police for. But then when the police come, what the police doing as well? They're on your side and they're killing you as well. So how do you win? How do you win? A lot of these stories, it is not self-defense or you feel threatened. If somebody's already handcuffed, how are you threatened? How? Where are they going to get the gun from? In their mouth? In their eyes? Like, which part of their body are they going to reach out and get a gun when you've handcuffed them? Does that even make sense? Does that even make sense? That's why it's just... I don't even know, guys. I don't even know. That's why it always baffles me when I see comments like, oh, but this and but that. There's the things like, there's no buts. To me, there is no buts in this situation. Like, what but is there in senseless killings? It is a killing. People don't want to say that because it's a strong word. It is murder. There have been other instances where policemen shoot over 20 times, yeah, at a victim or a black person. Over 20. Do you know what, yeah? People that even do shootings, illegal shootings in, you know, safari parks or just hunting for deer and whatnot, they don't even shoot animals. Listen, just leave it, guys. They don't even shoot animals over 20 times to kill an animal. What do you think firing a gun 20 times and you think you're done, you just shoot? There've been cases where it's been over 80 bullets. Why are you killing a man? Yeah, you wouldn't even kill an animal with that many bullets, and you're killing a man, a black man, with that many bullets. Yeah, I don't understand it. And that's what I'm saying. I've lost a lot of support for friends, brands, whatever, because even when I was posting things, I did get a few messages, or people weren't really liking it, and it makes me suspect, because if you don't like it, that means you don't agree with it. And if you don't agree with what I said or I've posted, what does that say about you? And I was just saying to somebody the other day, like, not everybody's meant to be a warrior or a soldier out in a battlefield. Everybody, like, when people have gone to war and done whatever they needed to do, you know, fighting their enemy and whatnot, not everybody's meant to be a soldier. There are people that are working in factories, you know, keep the country running, doing other bits and pieces. Putting the whole Black Lives Matter movement doesn't mean that, oh, you have to be out there and doing the most simple things like donations, just even sharing a post, showing where you stand, you know, just supporting the people that feel like they can go out there is more than enough. Nobody's asking you, you know, you don't even like have to do the most, like writing a letter, writing an email, what takes 2-3 minutes, saying how you feel. Signing a petition is like 2 clicks, okay, or 3, but you know what I mean. No one's asking you to go out and, you know, join a riot if you feel like you don't want to riot and you don't feel being safe. And that's another point that people saying, why are they rioting? It's like, when Kaepernick was kneeling down, it was an issue. When people have been peaceful, it's an issue. But the thing is that the people that were killed, they weren't peacefully taken away to be questioned or interrogated. That was not peacefully done. It was done in an aggressive manner. So how can you expect something to be done aggressively to a race of people, and then for them to just sit back quietly and be like, oh, we're going to be quiet about it? When people were kneeling and it was the biggest deal in the world. Oh my God, they're kneeling, blah, blah, blah. They're against the country. They're doing this and that. And then now people are are rioting, it's a big problem, and saying you're gonna call the military in and looting starts and shooting follows, or whatever that president that they voted for is saying. Yeah. And it's like, excuse me, when people were kneeling or just doing peaceful protests and whatnot, you guys weren't getting the message. You guys thought you could still carry on doing what you were doing, so, and still being aggressive and still being violent. But we're meant to be, as a people, to be kept quiet, to keep quiet about situations like this, and to peacefully move on whilst we're being attacked. Anything that's happening in the world, that's the funny thing about the way the world works. Yeah, anything that's happening in the world, people think it will not happen to them, that they might not be met with that situation. That's what confuses my mind. People think, oh, because in America's in a shooting, oh, blah blah blah, there's still racists in the UK, there's still racists in Germany, Italy, blah blah blah, that may not be as prolific and as well known, or their attacks are not shown as much because they show other kinds of crime and knife crime and all of this and whatever they want to be showing, but it still happens in the UK. And just because it's not happening directly to you does not mean it could not happen in the future. When you see something happening to someone, and you don't even have to be black to be able to help out. There's that saying about, oh, if you see your neighbor's house burning, like your neighbor's house on fire, and you don't go and help them, then the next house is going to be yours. Yeah. How do you think somebody's issues that is not, you know, your own won't affect you? You don't know that. So that's why I think this whole situation, and it confuses me how people think like black people are overreacting and blah blah blah, and you know, they shouldn't be angry and we should be quiet. This is not the time to be quiet. And I'm happy that I have this platform to be able to say that. You know, before I was a bit like, oh, people might unfollow me. People have unfollowed me because I put up a quote. People haven't followed me, and then I thought, so people are following me because I am protesting the right for people not to kill people of my race. And then I thought, I'm not going to be like angry about that. And you know what, good riddance for that if people do want to unfollow me. But guys, that is all I have to say on the situation. Guys, make sure you spread this video. I want to hear your thoughts below as well. Make sure to share the video, and then I'll see you guys in my next, yeah, I don't even know how to finish this damn video because I'm lost. I'll see you guys in my next video, and make sure you share this video as well.